There might be a disruption here for you. A disruption that clears the path to help to set you free and move you forward. This can be channeled in the most highest vibration possible by putting it towards focusing on your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, but we can also spin out with all of this fire here. So use it wisely, channel it wisely. Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Salvatore, an astrologer and intuitive channel. And what I'm seeing for the second half of April stopped me in my tracks. The Aries New Moon is here. The energy is accelerating and everything is about to ignite. Are you ready? Because ready or not, it's happening. Let's get into it. First, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you are notified of all new videos as they come out. Let's get right into it. This second half of the month is speeding up, and so I'm probably going to keep this video, or I'm going to try to keep it speedy. First and foremost, personally speaking, the best use of astrology is when you use it for personal empowerment. When you're able to identify even the basic placements of your birth chart and correlate that with what is happening in the sky right now, how that pertains to you and how that is potentially affecting you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. There's a lot of enlightenment, healing, and clarity when using astrology this way. So first things first, you're going to want to identify, where does Aries fall in your birth chart? We all have Aries somewhere. I've got a lot of how-to tutorials, both free and paid. I've linked one right down in the description box below that will go into how you have every single energy, every planet in your birth chart, every sign in your birth chart, and how to locate them all. Be sure to check that out. You're definitely going to want to identify where Aries is in your birth chart for those that might not know, because we have a pileup of Aries energy right now, the second half of this month. It's go time. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, the initiator, the bold one. Aries energy reminds us to pull into our own independence, our own courage, our fighter spirit, the warrior within all of us. And based upon where Aries falls in your birth chart, those are the areas of life where you are being called and asked to really step up and show up for yourself. Doesn't mean to be selfish, but it's about showing up for self. And sometimes that can look selfish to others. It's all how you navigate and manage the energies. All planets are direct right now. Time is moving forward. We are full steam ahead. We are speeding up and slowing down simultaneously. Be sure to take really good care of your body. The energies are very intense right now. There's a very strong energy of headaches running through the collective, sinus issues, vertigo, tinnitus, the ringing of the ears, feeling off center, feeling unbalanced, ungrounded. Remember, Uranus is also now at the 29th degree of Taurus until the 25th of this month. So Uranus is really ramping up. And so all of these energies, we feel the quickening. We feel like we are ramping up. Increased volcanic activity, earthquakes, flooding, wind, fire, all of it. Not just literally, but also emotionally, politically, financially. Be very discerning with where you are placing your energy, what you are choosing to focus on. Take time every day for prayer, gratitude, and healing for self. Speaking of healing, on the 16th of April, right before the new moon in Aries, the sun and Chiron come together for their cazimi. Basically, Chiron combusts the sun. Chiron passes through the sun at 26 degrees of Aries. Chiron being the wounded healer. Chiron has soul meat. Chiron is all about the wounds we carry within. We carry them with us in our spiritual DNA. And so we look at this cazimi moment, the sun conjunct Chiron, we can look at this as the sun literally burning up, disintegrating a hurt, a pain, something that we've carried for a really long time, something that has to do with our individuality, our ability to be seen, our ability to have the confidence to move forward in the direction that our soul wants to go. This is about authenticity and autonomy. So the sun aligning with Chiron for this cazimi could be bringing up a wound, something that we feel very strongly within the self, within the soul, within the psyche, and it could quite literally disintegrate under these energies. I am choosing to look at it as a very strong and profound healing moment and a healing energy. On the 17th of April, we've got our Aries new moon. This is the first new moon of the new year, technically, because this is the first new moon of the astrological new year. It falls at 27 degrees of Aries. This new moon takes place at 7:51 a.m. Eastern time. And while everyone will feel and experience the energies of this new moon, it is going to be the most powerful for our cardinal signs, which are Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, and Libra. And even more so if you have any of your points or placements, meaning the sun, the moon, Mars, Venus, your angles, the ascendant, the descendant, your nodes, anything between 25 and 29 degrees of the cardinal signs, you will feel this energy that much more strongly. So be sure to check your chart and set an intention or 2 or 3 in the Aries area of your life. You are already feeling it. You're feeling the call. You're feeling the urge. It is time to move forward. Here's the chart for the new moon. Aries new moon, 7:51 a.m. Eastern time on the 17th of April. Look at all this Aries. Oh my goodness, we have not seen this in quite some time. This is a lot of ignition. This is like taking the match, lighting the fire, getting the spark going, the motivation, the very beginning. This is like the fool's journey. If you know the tarot, this is the fool. This is about taking a leap of faith, taking chances. In fact, the tarot cards that Aries rules over are the Emperor. The Emperor is all about stability and control, standing your ground, standing in your truth, in your foundation. This is a very structured energy. This is about being the boss. Shadow side, we want to watch out for inflated ego, being too big for our britches, and also being too selfish and/or demanding. And then we have the Tower. The Tower is ruled by the planet Mars, and Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Mars is currently in Aries at the time of this new moon. Therefore, this is a very strong new moon in Aries with the ruler also in the sign of Aries. So again, I just want to stress there's so much energy here. This can be channeled in the most highest vibration possible by putting it towards focusing on your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. What are you working on? Which projects, which relationships, all of it. But we can also spin out with all of this fire here. So use it wisely, channel it wisely. The Tower reminds us that we sometimes have to flip the script, or else the universe, source, the divine, God, however you look at that, will flip the script for you. There might be a disruption here for you, a disruption that clears the path to help to set you free and move you forward. And the tarot card associated with this specific new moon, the deacon of this new moon, which is 27 degrees, is the Four of Wands, which just like the Emperor talks about foundation and structure and stability and things coming together and feeling solid. Now, if you're not there yet, this is a very strong indication that this is what you are working toward, or this is what you should be working toward. Intuition is so heightened right now. It is so easy to tune in, easier than ever, to ask for signs and to be open to the way in which they come in, to pay attention to the patterns, because that is what synchronicity is. And that is spirit guiding us, moving through us and showing us the way, because our soul always knows. It's the mind, it's the ego that has to catch up with it. So don't poo-poo the energy, don't poo-poo the synchronicity. It's there for a reason. Taking time each day to really drop in and connect with self is how you're going to find it. Also the dream space. Back to the astrology surrounding this new moon. And if the astrological jargon gets lost on you, don't worry about it. Just lean into the message. Lean into the messaging around this new moon. The most important thing you need to know is to identify where Aries falls in your birth chart, so you can see where all of this opportunity and energy is concentrated. So we've got the sun and the moon at 27 degrees and 28 minutes of Aries, which is how we have our new moon, when the sun and the moon are exactly aligned. We've got Chiron here just passing its Kazemi moment, which I just spoke about, tightly aligned with this new moon, reminding us that that which hurts us has the strongest potential and power to heal us. When we stand in our truth and our authenticity, regardless of how we feel about that, warts and all, there's an acceptance that comes with that. This is a strong reminder around this new moon. Acceptance leads to healing. We have Eris here at 25 degrees of Aries. Mythology of Eris, she is the goddess of discord. But the discord that Eris stirs up is mainly so that everybody can be seen and heard. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has the right to their opinion and the right to be heard. Eris does not do well with exclusion of any kind. And Eris reminds us where we need to boss up in our own life. We have Saturn here in Aries. We've got Mars here in Aries, the ruler of this new moon, tremendous force, power, and energy. We've got Neptune in Aries. We've got Mercury in Aries. So we have a lot of Aries here. This is the energy of putting your foot on the gas pedal. But with Saturn in Aries, there's also the energy of we have to stop, we have to slow down, we have to make sure it's right. So there is a sense of containment behind the scenes here. We've got Jupiter here in Cancer in a sextile with Venus. This is really nice. This brings a sense of sweetness and camaraderie to this new moon, cooperation. This is helpful for relationships and relationship dynamics, for communication and expression. One of the strongest messages here, one of the strongest questions to ask yourself under this new moon in Aries is, what do you stand for? Ask yourself, what do I stand for? And stand strong within that. Let the energy of any kind of victimhood, let it go. Try to. Stand strong, rise above. Pluto is here at 5 degrees of Aquarius, and Pluto is sextiling, which is a supportive aspect, Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn. That's really nice. Pluto reminds us that transformation is at the core of everything that we are experiencing personally. And then, of course, collectively, we have to acknowledge the fact that we're dealing with a lot of strong Aries energy, which is go time, boots to the ground, military activity, rulers and leaders, lots of information. The opposite sign of Aries is Libra, and Libra is where we negotiate. Libra is where we look to find the balance and the resolution, which is in opposition essentially to all of this Aries energy. And we definitely are seeing and feeling that throughout the collective. Everything seems to be becoming upended, uprooted. Think of that as so that the new life can emerge. Jupiter is also making an aspect to the south node here in Virgo called a septile. The septile indicates a faded, intense energy. We will definitely be experiencing this personally by what seems to be exiting our life, whether it's emotionally, whether it's literally. There's a strong release that's happening here, and a lot of it can absolutely have to do with religious beliefs, philosophical beliefs, and or behavioral patterns from the past. Relying on that which is comfortable, that which we've held on to very tightly from the past that we know genuinely no longer aligns with who we are today, will only hold us back. Aries energy reminds us of that. It's stand up for who you are, stand up for what you believe in, which brings it back to the question that I suggested you ask yourself around this new moon. What do I stand for? And then you stand on that. Staying very conscious and aware of the others in your life, in your reality, which is the opposite sign, Libra. Think of this as this Jupiter South Node aspect here as destined release. Now, this might not be something very obvious to you, especially right now in the moment, but eventually you will see how things pan out for you, how much you've changed, how much you've grown. And also, fixed star Sheet is up here at 29 degrees of Pisces. You might remember we talked about Sheet in the Pisces reading. Sheet is in an exact sextile to Uranus now at the 29th degree. Sheet represents a lot of things, but this is a strong energy of water, and we're dealing with Uranus in Taurus, which is a strong energy of earth. Uranus is also the god of the sky, which is all about the weather patterns. And Sheet represents misfortune at sea. This is trouble with water. So we're likely going to see an increase of that around the time of this new moon and as we move throughout the remainder of April and into the beginning of May. Staying grounded is of high priority. Do what you need to do to keep yourself planted, to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. Get out into nature, disconnect from tech, connect with self, spend time with those that lift you up, minimize time with that and whom drains your energy. Speaking of protecting your energy, just as an aside, I've got this protection pack here by Otter Spirit, which is a company that I am an affiliate with who makes quality, authentic gemstone jewelry. I will drop the link below, but this is actually their protection pack. It's got hematite, black lava, and black tourmaline, which are extremely grounding stones. Wear them on the left because that's where we take in the energy, so we want to stay grounded. They have a lot of other supportive stones, but I just wanted to pop that in here because I am wearing it. And you can also get a discount by using my customized link below, which is in the description box. Protect your peace, protect your energy, take really good care of yourself. Now let's talk about how the energy of this new moon can impact you by your rising sign, and definitely set an intention or two in these areas of your life. There's a free tutorial and a downloadable birth chart here linked in the description box. If you're Aries rising, this new moon is landing directly on you, your face, your name, your identity. This is your personal reset. It's a rare and powerful invitation to shed who you've been and to step fully into who you are becoming. Set intentions around yourself, around your desires, your direction. This one is deeply personal, so own it. Taurus rising, the universe is asking you to slow down and go inward. This new moon lights up your 12th house, which is a place of the chart that prefers to stay dark and hidden. This is the realm of the unseen, the spiritual, the surrendered. Something needs to be released before your own birthday season begins. Let it go. What you release now creates space for everything coming next. Gemini rising, your people are your power. That's what this new moon pulls focus on. It's activating your friendships, your community, your biggest hopes and dreams. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they aligned with where you're going? Set intentions around your tribe and your vision. The right connections are coming, and the misaligned connections are leaving. Cancer rising, this new moon is lighting up your career and your public image. Something new is beginning professionally, a fresh chapter, a new direction, a bold step forward. Don't be afraid to ask for what you desire and deserve. What do you want to be known for? The universe is giving you a blank page. Most important, write something worthy of you. Leo rising, expansion is your theme. This new moon is opening doors to new beliefs, new horizons, new possibilities. There could be travel, there's lots of learning, growth. Something is calling you beyond the familiar. Say yes to it. The universe is broadening your world on purpose. Trust where it's taking you. Virgo rising, deep transformation is available to you right now, especially around this new moon as it sits in your 8th house, the area of your chart and life that pertains to rebirth, intimacy, and shared resources. Something is ending for you so that something more powerful can begin. Don't be afraid of the depth that follows. What dies now was never meant to survive this version of you. Libra, relationships are your focus. This new moon is planting fresh seeds in your 7th house of partnerships, commitments, and one-on-one connections. A relationship may begin, deepen, or shift significantly. Some may end as well. Ask yourself, are your partnerships truly balanced? Are they truly serving you? And then set intentions around the connections that matter the most. Scorpio, your daily life is getting a powerful reset. Health, routines, work. This new moon is asking you to build better structures for yourself. How are you showing up day to day? Small changes made now will have a massive ripple effect. Your body is also speaking, so listen to it. Give it what it needs. Sagittarius, joy is your medicine. This new moon is lighting up creativity, romance, pleasure, and play. When did you last do something just because it made you happy? This is your invitation. Create something, love something, enjoy something. The universe is giving you permission to feel good. Create that vision board. Capricorn, home and family are in focus. This new moon is planting seeds in your foundations. This is your living situation, your roots, your sense of belonging, your emotional well-being. Something at home may shift or begin anew. Ask yourself, does your home feel like a sanctuary? If not, now is the time to change that. And some of you may actually need to separate your work space from your home space. It's time. Aquarius, your voice is your power. This new moon is activating communication, ideas, and your immediate world and environment. Something you have been thinking about needs to be said. It needs to be written or shared. Speak up. Reach out. Start the conversation, or conversations, because it feels like more than one. And remember that the right words at the right time can change everything. Pisces, your relationship with money and self-worth is getting a refresh, a fresh start. This new moon is planting seeds in your 2nd house. This is all about what you earn, what you value, and most importantly, how you value and show up for yourself. Set intentions around abundance. Emotional abundance, physical abundance, financial abundance. Be sure to align your actions with your worth. You are allowed to ask for more. So there is where the new moon will fall for you by your rising sign. And let's just quickly go through the remainder of April. April 19th, Taurus season begins. Happy birthday to all of my fellow Taurians. It is our season. Happy birthday to all of our bulls. It's nice to have some of the earthy, grounding Taurus energy to, well, it's not gonna combat all of the Aries, because there is a lot of Aries energy, which is great because it's helping us to really move forward and push play. The sun moving into Taurus can also help us to push pause where necessary. So the sun moves into Taurus on April 19th at 9:39 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on the 20th of April, Mercury will align with Mars. On the 24th of April, Venus will enter Gemini. The connector, the connection planet gets an extra boost, an extra buzz. Communication and expression are at the forefront, socializing. And on the 25th, we have a huge shift. We've got Uranus switching signs. Uranus is departing the sign of Taurus for good and moving into Gemini officially on April 25th at 8:51 p.m. Eastern Time to be exact, and will remain in Gemini until 2033. Uranus in Gemini is so different than Uranus in Taurus. We've talked about this a lot in the past. We're moving from earth to air. Uranus is the god of the sky, the air. So things are going to speed up. Think AI, think technology, think aviation, modes of transportation, communication, all the Gemini areas. There's going to be a whole podcast on Uranus and Gemini, so I'm not going to get too deep into this right now, but what you will want to do is locate the Gemini area of your chart. And especially if you have points and placements in the very early degrees of Gemini, like think 0 to 3, and also Sagittarius, Pisces, or Virgo, because you'll be getting a Uranus transit, meaning Uranus is going to revolutionize a specific area of your life. Just like the Aries New Moon falls in a specific part of your chart, the Uranus and Gemini energy is there to last. It's there for a long time because Uranus moves slowly. But when Uranus makes changes, they're fast, sometimes sudden. And in Gemini, they can feel even faster. So pay attention to the Gemini area of your chart. And if you have any points and or placements in the sign of Gemini, you're going to want to pay attention to this. There will likely be a powerful announcement having to do with aviation, some changes. It might not be exactly on the 25th, but Uranus is entering Gemini, so I wouldn't be surprised. If you pay attention, there's always something defining when Uranus switches signs. And I don't want anybody to panic because Uranus is the disruptor. It's a disruptive energy, but I refer to Uranus as the divine disruptor. More than that, Uranus seeks to set us free. That's why I said the area where Gemini falls in your chart is where you're going to see there's going to be this revolutionary energy. Something becomes revolutionized. Also, this is an energy of freedom and raw truth and liberation. So there could be a lot of positivity that comes out of that transit, out of this energy of Uranus and Gemini for you personally. And then Venus in Gemini will square off with the nodes of the moon, the nodes of destiny, which are currently the north node's in Pisces, the south node is in Virgo. Venus will square these two at the end of the month, reminding us of where we may have to take a step back in order to launch forward. Are we aligned with what our soul wants, with where we want to go? Big questions this month. So that's the second half of April. Lots of power here, but we must use it wisely and make sure that we are very conscious and aware of our own actions, our words. Are our actions aligning with our words? Are we standing our ground? Are we standing in our truth? Are we allowing ourselves to be free in our expression and authenticity? Are we willing to take the risks and make the bold moves that we need to make in order to have what we want, in order to move forward? And release is a big part of that. Take really good care. You can find all of my information in the description box below. I believe I have a few private readings left for the month of May, so if you would like one, check that out. And if you appreciate these insights, I do give a detailed weekly podcast. I have my own community over at the Soul Space, which is linked below. You can check that out with a 7-day free trial, no commitment. It's like a subscription for your soul. Take good care, and I will be back soon. Bye.